scalar product of two vectors. Let us consider two vectors A and B. Say this is A vector and the other vector, consider the B vector. Here this is B vector. Okay, when you have to add two vectors, where we generally keep the second vector is, we generally keep the second vector at the end where the first vector ended. There we keep the second vector, isn't it? And this will be the resultant vector of A plus B. Getting? But when you are multiplying two vectors, what you need to do is draw the first vector as it is. The second vector you have to keep in the tail of the first vector only. The B vector you keep in the tail only. If you call this is head and tail, and the tail and tail should be kept together in order to multiply two vectors. When you are adding, you have to keep here. When you are subtracting two vectors, the same thing B, we write the downward, isn't it? You draw it down opposite direction of B and then you find the resultant vector. Hope you are aware of it. This is A vector and this is B vector. And there is angle between two vectors. You can call it as theta. Let theta be the angle between two vectors. So the dot product is defined as the scalar product. Is defined as A vector dot B vector is equal to magnitude of A vector times magnitude of B vector times cos of angle between A and B. Okay, so this is the definition of scalar product of two vectors. Okay, if you're getting a vector, say this vector is A vector, some component if it given, and B also is given, and also let theta be the angle between two vectors, say 30 degrees. You know to find the magnitude of A vector, and also you know to find magnitude of B vector, and cos of the angle between two vectors. If you multiply, you will get the A vector dot B vector. Now, magnitude of A is always a scalar, right? It's a number, and this also a number, and cos 30 also will be a number. If you multiply three numbers, obviously your final result will be in the number form. That's why A dot B is always will give the result of what? A scalar. Okay. Now, let us consider if two vectors are perpendicular. If two vectors A vector and B are perpendicular, then draw A vector like this and the B vector is this. Angle between A vector and B vector will be 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. So what will happen if two vectors are perpendicular? A vector dot B vector is, according to the formula, mod A magnitude of B vector into cos of angle between two vectors. Here angle between two vectors is 90 degrees. You know very well cos of 90 degrees should be 0, right? So A vector dot B vector will be 0 if two vectors are perpendicular. It's a very important definition. We are going to use frequently this result in problem solving in straight lines and planes. What is that is, if two vectors are perpendicular, then the dot product of two vectors is equal to 0. Otherwise, you can write it as if A vector dot B vector is 0, this implies these two vectors are One of the vector may be 0. That's obvious. Like, if one A vector is a 0 vector, then if you apply dot product, you will get 0. Or B vector is a 0 vector, you will get 0. If A and B are non-zero vectors, still you are getting A dot B is 0. Then A vector should be perpendicular to B vector. Consider two vectors A and B. A vector dot B vector will be same as B vector dot A vector. This is called commutative property. Considering numbers, 5 plus 3 is same as 3 plus 5. These two results are giving 8. Whereas 5 minus 3 is not same as 3 minus 5. These two are not same. So here commutative property is not true in this case. Here addition of two numbers are commutative. Even if you use the reverse way, it works. The same thing goes with 5 times 3 is same as 3 times 5. Multiplication is commutative, whereas division is not commutative. A vector dot B vector is same as B vector dot A vector, which means the dot product is commutative. In calculations, if you have to find B dot A, that would be same as what? A dot B only. Let us see how it is. Consider two vectors A and B. And let theta be angle between A and B. Let theta be angle between A and B. According to the definition of dot product, A dot B will be mod A mod B cos theta. If you have to find B dot A, what you need to do, you have to multiply mod B. First vector is B vector, so mod B. Second vector is A vector, mod A. And cos of angle between B and A. Okay, B and A angle between B and A. A and B angle is between A vector and B vector. If the angle is theta, the angle between B and A is 360 degrees minus theta. You agree? So if you're using B dot A, if you apply B vector dot A vector, the first vector is B and second vector is A. The angle between first and second vector is, in this case, 360 degrees minus theta. You know very well, 360 minus theta lies in the fourth quadrant. And here ASTC, here all are positive in the first quadrant, second quadrant sine, third quadrant tan, and fourth quadrant cos positive. So 360 minus theta lies in the fourth quadrant where cos has to be positive. So you can write it as mod B times mod A times just cos theta. Okay. So B vector dot A vector, now if you see the right hand side, it's no more vector, it is just scalars. B mod B is a number, say 5. Mod A is say 3. 5 times 3 times cos theta, you say it is half. Okay, if you multiply this in any order, it remains same only, because we already shown here multiplication satisfies the commutative property. So you can write B vector dot A vector is nothing but, you can write it as mod A mod B cos theta. You can reverse it. So this is nothing but, according to this in the definition, this is just as A dot B. So B dot A would be same as A dot B. So scalar product of two vectors satisfies commutative property. Let us see how dot product works with I, J, K components. We know that I, J, and K are three mutually perpendicular unit vectors. I denotes the x-axis direction, j denotes y-axis, and k is z-axis directions. Modulus of I and j and k's are all 1. That's what unit vectors. It just shows the direction of x, y, and z axis. I'll show that over here. Let us consider this is that unit vector of I, and this is j, and here is the k vector. You know, this and this are angle between I and j 90 degree, k and I and j and k all are 90 degrees. Also remember, modulus of I is same as modulus of j is same as modulus of k, all should be equal to 1. Now let us see, we are going to use this dot product definition for these three vectors. A vector dot b vector is mod A mod b cos theta, right? So here let us use I vector dot I vector. Let's see what answer we get. Instead of A and B, here we are doing I vector, you are multiplying I vector by the same vector. Okay, so what it will become? Modulus of I, first vector, times modulus of I, again the first vector, into cos of angle between that vector and the same vector is what? 0. Angle between I and I is 0. So this answer comes to modulus of I is 1 times cos 0 is 1. So remember, I vector dot I vector is always 1. Similarly, we can prove the other vectors. We can prove j vector dot j vector will be 1, and the dot product of k vector dot k vector also will be what? 1. Let us see, if you differentiate I with j, what will happen? Okay, if you do I vector with j, not I with I with I we already worked. Let us see I vector dot j vector. According to the definition of dot product, it's modulus of the first vector times modulus of the second vector times cos of angle between I and j. Look at the diagram. What is the angle between I and j is 90 degrees or pi by 2 radian. So you can use cos of 90 degrees here. Hope you remember cos 90 should be 0. So if you apply dot product of I vector and j vector or any two perpendicular vectors we already seen, you will get 0 because modulus of I is 1, modulus of j is 1, cos 90 should be 0. So I vector dot j vector should be 0. Similarly, we can prove the other two vectors, j vector dot k vector also 0, and k vector dot I vector also will be 0. Okay, here if you see the diagram, I vector dot I vector is 0, sorry, I vector dot I vector is 1, I dot j should be 0, j dot k also 0, and k dot I also 0. What will happen if we work reverse? I dot j, what will happen for j dot I? J dot I also will become 0 because we know that the dot product of two vectors satisfies commutative property. A dot B is same as B dot A. Okay, since A dot B is same as B dot A, this implies if I vector dot j vector is 0, then j vector dot I vector is also 0, right? Since I dot j is 0, therefore j dot I also will be 0. These all looks very simple. These results are not same when you work in cross product. I already said there are two products, one is dot and cross. These are all the results only for the dot products. Cross product, these results would be entirely different. Okay. Now, using these results, we can derive the result for the dot product of two vectors. See carefully. Let us consider two vectors, A vector and B vector. Let A vector be A1i plus A2j plus A3k. The same way, take B vector as B1i plus B2j plus B3k. This also you can write in a column vector form of A1, A2, A3, and here you can write B vector as B1, B2, B3. Here I am taking in ijk component form because we already know the results of I dot I dot j. These results we are going to use when you are multiplying these two vectors, and we are going to use that distributive property also here. Okay, let us do the dot product of these two vectors. A vector dot B vector is, write on the first vector, that is A1i plus A2j plus A3k dot. The B vector is B1i B2j plus B3k. Remember, A1, A2, A3 are all just numbers. I, J, K are all vectors. Okay, and these all vectors which has direction in it. You cannot do a scalar product with numbers. 4.5 dot product of 4 and 5, meaningless. Okay, just a product is enough. But dot product of I and j is meaningful because this is vector. Okay, so when we are going to apply the dot product of first two vector with the second vector. This, I'll give an example for this. This is looking like 3i plus 4j plus 5k. You can take an example like this, right? Here you can take 2i plus 7j plus 9k. What we are going to do is we are going to take this 3i and multiply with all the three terms in this. Same like here you are multiplying with all the three terms, and here you are going to multiply, right? In this product, what you are going to observe is this 3 and 2 are just numbers. So you can write it as 3 and 2 as 3 times 2 is 6, right? 3 times 2 6, and you can write it as the dot product of I and I as I dot I. We are going to follow that pattern. Okay, remember A1, A2, A3 are just numbers like 3, 4, 5. I, J, K are all only maintaining it the vector form. Same like here, B1, B2, B3 are also the constants. Now let us multiply. I'm going to take A1i, multiply with all the terms in this. If we do that, A1 and B1 goes together because those are all constants. So A1 times B1, and you can write I dot I. Okay, because this you are multiplying with this. Next, you are going to multiply with J. You can write A1 B2 I dot J. And if you multiply with the last term, it goes A1 B3 I dot K. Don't forget to put that dot because we are applying dot product only. Dot product of those two vectors. Okay, next I'm going to take A2. I'm going to write down right under these terms. A2 B1 plus A2 B1 J dot I plus A2 B2 J dot J plus A2 B3 J dot K. Next term, if you take A3 and K multiply with other terms, it becomes A3 B1 K dot I plus A3 B2 K dot J plus A3 B3 K dot K. Getting? Now we already worked on these results. See that here? I dot I in the previous set, I dot I is
Like
1,
Matrix.
J dot J1, K dot K1. But I dot J, when it comes to the other one, it will become 0. Right? So here you see, this is I dot I, this result will become 1. I dot I is 1, this also 1, and this also 1. Rest all will become what? I dot J, this is 0. All these terms will become 0. So if you substitute those values here correctly, finally you will get only these three terms underlined. What is that? A1 B1 times I dot I1. I'm not writing that because 1, if you multiply with A1 B1, you will get the same. And A2 B2 and plus A3 B3. So this is the method we are going to use to find the dot product of two vectors. And we are going to use the definition which I explained earlier to find the angles or to solve for other purpose. To find the dot product of two vectors, we are going to follow this strategy. What is that is, A vector is nothing but A1, A2, A3, remember? And B vector is B1, B2, B3. So to find dot product, just multiply A1, B1, A2, B2 and A3, B3. That's it. Okay, let's practice with an example. Let A vector is 3, 4, 5 and B vector is -2, 5, 3. Find the dot product of two vectors. What you have to do is, you don't need to do any of this thing what we have done here, the whole big multiplication. You don't need to perform anything, because the dot product of results will come at the end with only these three simple terms, which can be obtained by multiplying the respective terms, right? So here you write this: A vector is 3, 4, 5 dot -2, 5 and 3. So this comes, okay, it's no more going to be a vector, because you saw in the previous year, if you multiply here, it's no more a vector. Okay, there you're going to add three numbers. Okay, let's do that here. 3 times -2 is -6, plus 4 times 5 is 20, 5 times 3 15. Okay, so the final answer is 29 is the dot product of two vectors. The same strategy we can use for two-dimensional vectors also. Consider A vector is -3 and 4 and B vector is 4 and 3. It is same as the one which I taken the example earlier. When you do dot product of two vectors, see here, -3 and 4 dot 4 and 3, you will get -12 plus 12. The answer is 0. Remember, if dot product of two vectors is 0, then those two vectors must be perpendicular to each other, right? If you draw the first vector from the starting point, it is minus 3 and 4. Minus 3 will go left side and 4 will be up. 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is minus 3 and 4. The other one is